Good greetings everyone, this is Rusty Dog and welcome to the first in what is probably going to be just 2 videos about me re-engineering my bigger ships with the new engineers in the Elite Dangerous Beyond beta. So I'm kind of banking that there's not going to be any more engineer tweaks on beta 3, but if there are, it's not going to really matter too much. So I want to get this done because I'm curious to see what the figures are going to be, so I'll kind of have an advanced knowledge going into the live build. And I'm going to be starting off with the Corvette, and then I'm going to be doing the Anaconda, and we're going to be comparing the old figures to the new figures. And I want to get this done because the beta is actually going to be finishing this Friday on February the 9th. And I think that's a relatively short space of time considering how much new content we actually have in this beta. Nevertheless, we're here already at Black Hide, which is in the Word system or Weird system, depending how you want to pronounce it. And this is where the Dweller is located, the engineer called the Dweller, who for the duration of the beta has all of the engineering upgrades for every single module. So let's get straight onto it. I've already got some of the figures noted down for this ship, but I'm going to show you them. I'm going to show you the jump range, the shield and the armor specs on this ship right now, along with all the resistances. As we do the weapons, we'll take a look at each one individually before and after, and I'm going to be writing them down as we go, so I'll have a comparison of old versus new. So without further ado, let's get underway. And if we look in the functions tab, we will see the jump range on the left there. The one in the number in the brackets is the ship when it's got no fuel and no cargo and nothing. Why you would want a jump range known to you without any fuel, I don't know, because you can't jump. But the jump range there, 17.94, which is not quite correct. I know that's wrong. So to correct it, I'm going to refuel, because I need to do this on a full tank. It has to be done on a full tank, otherwise it's not going to compare properly. So, oh, it is still that. Well, that's really weird, because I got a jump range of 17.93 earlier. Now it's gone up by 0.01. Well, okay, I'm going to I'll replace that with 4 then. I wonder what the difference there is then. It's got the fuel, it's repaired, it's restocked, there's nothing here. Well, let's fix the whole ship before we get started. This isn't going to make any difference to engineering. The only difference I can surmise is the reserve tank on the ship. Let's have a quick look. No, not really. The reserves, I think the reserve must have got, I can't remember. Does it just fill the main tank when you refuel to 100%? Well, regardless, the reserve tank is also full. So 17.94. Okay. So now we're going to jump into the status screen, and we're going to have a look at the stats here. And the shield health is 2093, which conforms with what I've written down. The armor health 2633, bearing in mind with the shields that this ship has bi-weaves, because in combat, particularly PvE, but it probably work in PvP as well to some extent. The advantage of the bi-weaves, of course, as you know, is, well, first they're lighter, They're less. I think they draw less power than the standard shields. In fact, I'm sure they do. But the main draw, of course, is that they recharge a lot faster. The downside is that they go down a lot faster as well. But if you're running standard prismatics, they're going to withstand more. They're going to withstand more hits, and your shield health will be greater here. But the problem is, once your shields are down, it's going to take you a lot harder job than it is me to get the shields back up. So I've gone with bi-weaves. So that's why the shield health is in the 2000s and not something mega high, like I don't know, 6,000s possibly. I don't know if that's you can get there, but anyway. So the resistances you can see on screen. The shield, I've got them written down as KTE, which is kinetic, thermal, and explosives. So we have the shield kinetic, shield thermal, shield explosive, armor kinetic, armor thermal, armor explosive resistances. There's your numbers. I don't need to memorize them because I've got them written down already. And I will be taking a look at those differences. In the modules then, in order to get the shields as much as possible, we're going to have to engineer the shield boosters. Bear in mind this video is an engineering video, so we are just going to be stuck here at the engineers unless we run out of iron, in which case we're going to have to go to the material trader and trade some materials in order to get another bin full of iron. But I'm not going to need to engineer every single item. Frameshift Drive, obviously, I want to do. Multi-cannons, they're all going to get done. Let me see. I think everything that's engineered right now is going to be re-engineered, to be honest, because I think it's the only way to do it. So everything you see with a nut here, apart from the kill warrant scanner, unless possibly there's something there that can save us a bit of weight just to up the jump range, but without detracting from the kill warrant scanner effectiveness too much. Thrusters, obviously. Now this ship, as far as I remember, everything is grade 5 on this ship. We've got grade 5 dirty drives. The shields are definitely grade 5. The boosters are all grade 5. So I think for the majority, if not all, the only time something's not going to be grade 5 is if it doesn't need to be. And I'm going to guess possibly power plant. There you go. It's only a grade 1. And we only need a grade 1 because, well, I could do with a grade 2 maybe. The usage is 97, so I'm under the 100%. So I don't need to go any further. If I do go further, it affects my integrity, it affects my overall mass. Well, to a small extent, because it affects the mass of the power plant, so therefore the ship. And I don't need to have those extra negatives, so I didn't go any further. What I'd like to do on the power plant is possibly change the module from overcharge to armored. I did mention in my live stream that I would do that. However, I can only do that if not having an overcharged power plant still keeps me under 100%, and I don't know whether it's going to. So we're going to have a look at that when the time comes. Okay, so let's jump into the engineer's workshop and pay the dweller a little visit. Now, as I've said, everything is already unlocked to grade 5, which means we're going to have to do a lot less rolls. We don't have to do the modules from the start like I did with the Chieftain yesterday, which took up an awful amount of time on the stream. It took the first 2 hours of the stream yesterday to engineer the Chieftain, and I didn't even realize that 2 hours had gone past. So bravo to everybody who stayed the distance on that one. And I'm going to include myself on that because it was rather laborious. But obviously I did engineer an entire ship, which is not something you normally do in one sitting. Certainly you can't do that because you need to visit all different engineers and gather your materials. So this ship needs converting to the new engineer system. So every module is going to have a conversion done. And what that's going to do is it's going to drop me from grade 5 down to grade 4. So I'm going to have to do possibly one roll on grade 4 to hit grade 5, and then I can start going from there. I've got 100 iron already in the bin waiting to be used up. I possibly may need to go back and get some more. We'll just have to see how this goes. So we're gonna where possible, I think for the main I'm going to be keeping the same upgrade, because otherwise I'd have to start from grade 1. So dirty drives are going to stay dirty, and you know, shields, they're going to stay, I think it's thermal, they're going to stay thermal. And as you can see here, it says legacy mod, which means this was upgraded on the old 2.4. So we're going to select it, and now it's asking us about converting over to the new system. So we're going to convert the engines. Oh, there was something. Oh, good thing I picked up on this one. We need to drop into outfitting, because there is also 2 other figures I need, which is my top and boost speeds. Yes. We can find out what that is in outfitting. I've got my ship lights on there. It'll soon be in. Alrighty. So the top speed at the moment is 260, and the boost speed is 338. Now the integrity was 2633, which, yeah, it's actually 263 2.7, but hey, we're not going to argue over thing. And there's the jump range, you see, 0.93. So there is a discrepancy there. 17, it's this middle number that I'm interested in. Yeah, this is when it's full of cargo and fuel. This is when it's not full of cargo or fuel. And this is when it's full of fuel and no cargo. I think something like that. And I want to take note of this middle figure as well, which is the mass of the ship. I'm interested to see if that changes. If that drops down, because I'm going to be dropping some, maybe using some mass managing upgrades, then the ship's going to be more agile. It's going to have a better boost speed. It's going to have a slightly better jump range. And so, you know, that's a plus all round. It's like when if you want to make your cargo faster, weight is your enemy. So you're going to strip the seats out, and so the more mass we can dump, the better. But when it comes to mass, I'm going to really seriously be looking at mass on the exploration Anaconda, which is going to be the next ship that we're going to do. And that's where the mass is really going to be focused. Right. Now we can begin. Finally. So let's convert the module. I just don't want to miss anything here. Yeah, let's just do it. All right. Oh, now in this one we are straight into grade 5. Nice. So we don't have to do any grade 4 rolls whatsoever. Some of these rolls I'm not going to take right to the end, to the absolute end, but I am going to do it on some of them. Particularly on the Conda, I'm going to be taking the FSD right to the end, of course. This one, probably shields and maybe hull and stuff like that. It's all going to be taken as far as I can take it. Because the idea is to push these numbers just to see what we can get. So, staying on dirty drive tuning then, grade 5, and let's generate. I'll do the experimental once I'm finished. So of course, by being here at grade 5 at the beginning, we have lost a little bit of the performance of the engines, but now we're pumping them back up again as we whiz through grade 5. So hopefully we'll get some. Oh, that was a nice roll. Yeah, it's by how much the line goes round the clock. It's like watching the countdown clock. Oh, we got a good one there. So we're kind of close to the end. All the figures look right on the end, but I'm going to just push this a little way. You see, because it still says 40%, so I'm not quite sure what we're gaining here. The 140 says 140. All these two numbers are matching, so I'm not sure if there's any point in pushing onto the end. And if we do push another one, the difference is going to be so minor, I reckon. Let's take a look. Let's leave it just there, just before the end. Okay, and we're just going to pop out and go into outfitting. Now, the top speed and the boost speed was 260 and 338. Now it's 282 and 367. So that is quite a jump. So is it too much though? Have Frontier made it too much? Well, I'm gaining 22 meters per second top speed over my originals, and where it was 338, I'm now getting 367. So I'm getting 29 meters per second more. It's a nice increase. Let's put it this way. I think it's nicely there to just entice me to say, yeah, I really want to do the new system. If they wanted to tweak it again, I would probably knock it down a little, because where my top speed was 260, if I knew I could get 270 and my boost instead of being 338 was 350, that would entice me enough to do the upgrade. But this has gone beyond that. So 282, 367. Now we're going to go back into the engineer's workshop and let's push that to completion and see how much of a difference, if any, it's going to make. So that's one more roll, and that's two more rolls. So no experimental effects yet. I don't want anything distorting these figures. Now we're at completion. So now we're going to go back into outfitting and see if it's made a difference. So have we changed from 252 and 367? Sorry, 282 and 367, isn't it? Yes, 282 and 367. So I can't read my own writing. And the answer is no. So I've wasted two rolls. So bear in mind, then in that case, once you see the numbers that's on the clocks match, like their maximums are matching the maximum that you have, stop there. Don't go any further, because there's no point. It's just, you're just trying to complete the clock, and it's just not gonna make any difference. Now we're going to add an experimental. Now I know if I want speed, I'm going to put the drag drives on. But let's take a look at what else we have. Enhanced fuel and thrust balancing across the drives to improve the mass curve efficiency. So putting this on is going to give me 10% better optimal mass of the thrusters. It doesn't help me with thermal. We'll take a look at that later. But it's going to be 10% less. So that's going to give me a slight increase in jump range, because my ship's going to be slightly lighter. The mass is going to come down. And is it going to affect speed? Well, let's buy it and find out. So into the outfitting. Yeah, it has. We've got more speed still. And the jump range hasn't changed. It's still 17.93. The mass is still exactly the same, so it hasn't. The optimal mass has changed of that module, but it certainly hasn't changed the ship overall. That number 1939.3 is exactly the same. Boost speed has gone up to 288 and 374. Okay, but we're going to push that just a little bit more by putting on a different experimental effect. Now, doing this is probably going to use up more iron than I wanted to, but anyway, it's all good for science. So double braced, obviously that's just going to increase the integrity. This is probably something you're going to want on your power plant or modules that get targeted by enemies, you know, more often. Maybe you might want to do it on your weapons. Just have some double braced weapons if that option's available on weapons to give them a bit more integrity. So rather than have the standard 100%, it's going to pop it up to 141, which is a fair old whack of an increase. Strip down takes away the mass again. This may affect jump range, so I don't know whether it's going to change the speed, so I'm going to buy that because I'm interested to know. So the speed 283 and 367, that's more or less what we had without applying the mod. We had 282 and 367, now it's 283, so we've gained 1 meter per second, so this is negligible. However, this has changed. This used to be 1939, now it's 1931, and the jump range has gone from 17.93 to 18. So it's a change of 0.08 of a jump range, but it has affected it. So that does change the ship's mass and therefore jump range. And here the change is negligible. For the sake of 1 meter per second, I'm not even going to say that that's a thing, because we've already seen that there are small discrepancies. Okay, so let's still focus on the engines. Have a look at the drag drives is what I'm going to be putting on in the end. So these thermal load, this is probably a decent one to put on your dirty drives, because dirty drives, if they've got any disadvantage over clean drives, is that they've got higher thermal, and this is going to bring it down by 10%. By the looks of it, thermal to balance thermal load, increasing cooling potential at the cost of okay, so you're going to gain 5% mass on this module, but you're going to have 10% better cooling. That's probably a nice little option to put on. But obviously I'm going to have to go out in the ship to test that. I'm not going to do that, and I won't be running through all of this in this detail on every mod, by the way, so don't worry, we're not going to have to sit through all that. I'll just stick on the one I want, but this one is going to give a worse thermal load, so I'm 10% hotter still. So you have to bear that in mind. It's the heat of what the dirty drives are already producing. Now I'm adding another 10% heat onto this module, which, I don't know, it's not really going to affect places like the nav beacon in Bunda, which is really close to the sun, so your ship's already heating up when it's in there, and if you're firing lasers and stuff, you're going to overheat a lot sooner than you would, say, in a hazardous res zone. But here, where we're adding another 10% thermal, it's going to be even more affected. How that works out in real terms, in practical, when you're actually playing, I don't know. But I'm going to put this on purely, being sensible, I would go with thermal spread. Being sensible. But the only reason I'm going to stick the drag drives on is because I want to have a look at the out and out speed difference. Now I've already bought this, and if I want it again, I've got to rebuy it. Once I stick on the drag drives, the strip down or whatever I've got on is going to disappear, and I've got to buy another one. So these are my new thermal load and my new optimal multiplier figures. We're not bothered about those though, are we? No, we want to know what the new top speed is. And this top speed at the end will change, because as we change other modules and change mass and change whatnot, these are not going to necessarily be the final figures. I want to be in outfitting. So these are just the figures right now. So 294 and 382. So we started with 260. So now I have 34 meters per second quicker top speed, and where we had 338, I've now got 382 boost. That is pretty significant. That is seriously significant, actually, I would say. Let's have a look. So that's 44, isn't it? 44. I don't know. 44 meters per second quicker. And we haven't lost any jump range. We haven't lost or gained any mass. Right, so let's whip through the others a little bit quicker. I just wanted to run you through that on the engines, just to give you a more detailed run of what's going on now. Oh Christ. Right, so yeah, my ship's got a full multi-cannon build. So right, we've got the two huge ones, which are up here. I've just realized how long this is going to take, guys. These are the two huge ones. On the first one, only interested really, I know power draw, distributor draw, armor piercing, all that. I know they're all relevant figures, and possibly the breach damage there. But all I'm really interested in is the damage. So we've got DPS, which is let's have a look. Sorry, I know what it is. I'm just writing it down. So it's 33, and the damage is 4.9. Thermal load 0.3. That does count. So all those numbers are important. It's just that for the sake of this video, I'm just concentrating on the damage. And the other big one is damage per second is 33.7, so slightly more damage on that one. And the other one is 5 as opposed to 4.9. Now, when I'm finished with both of these, if I take them both to the absolute limit, or take them to where the numbers are all matching, we should have the same figures at the end. So we're going to convert to the first multi-cannon. And we're going to come down to overcharged, and we're going to start generating. And don't forget, once these are the maximums in the blue, that's what's achievable. Once both of these match the blue numbers, don't generate anymore. It might let you generate, but don't. It's a waste of time. So we're starting right from the beginning. And you can see that we started with 33 and 4.9 on this weapon, and what's possible is 39 and 5. So it's a 5.8. I should say that 5.8. That's a massive increase. Okay, now this is almost there. 587, 588. This one 39.5, 39.6, not quite there. So I'm going to throw another one at it. Oh, it's gone up by 0.01. Right, now for me, if that's what the increases are going to be, there's no point throwing more materials at it. It's okay when you've got one iron, but in the real game, it's not going to be that. It's going to be like one niobium, one phosphorus, and you know, it's not going to be worth it, I don't think. If you're really, really, you know, if you're really hardcore about it, then yeah, you can just take it all away. But I really don't need to. So there's going to be a slight difference in these two unless I take them right to the end. But 39.57, I think we're fine there. So experimentals. Oh, I should have looked at what I had on this before. I think I have corrosive. Yeah, I'm going to put corrosive on it. I think I had corrosive on these big ones. I'm not sure whether they stack these things though. Any experimental effect that doesn't stack should be stated. It should be stated. But I think I did because it says at the cost of reduced ammo, and I'm pretty sure that's what I had on both. I did have reduced ammo on both of these top ones. So we're going to convert this one, and we're going to do exactly the same. Going to generate it up to probably the same number, I would say. It depends how the roll goes. It might not end up being the same before the end. 39.48. There you go, 39.57. And the bottom one's the same. So for the sake of parity, I'm going to stop here. And I'm going to put the same corrosive on there. Right, let's whiz back. I know this is a long and laborious way to look at things and to compare, but it's just to give you guys an idea of the differences between old and new on a ship like a Corvette, which is, you know, fully kitted out already. So let's go into the multi-cannons. Now you see the amount of ammo that I've lost is the same on both. It's come down from 2,100 to 1,680, and the amount I can hold in the cartridges in the magazine or whatever is only 77. So let's take a look now at the numbers. So the damage per second now has gone from 33 to 39.6, and the damage has gone from 4.9 to 5.9. Now that's only on one weapon. I think it's quite significant. The thermal load, I can't remember what it was before. If you look back on the video, the numbers are there though. 0.6 on the thermal load, distributor draw and power draw, they've all changed. It's going to be interesting to see the differences. This, I'm guessing, should be exactly the same, 39.6 and 5.9. It is. So it's standard now. And if somebody else came along and put on the exact same rolls with the exact same experimental, they're going to get the exact same weapon that I have. So it kind of levels the playing field, and I like that because it means you don't get, you know, these people with the god rolls having more advantage over somebody who's not engineered that far or didn't put 1,000 rolls in to get their god roll. But if those people with the god rolls don't come to the new engineers, now they're going to be at a disadvantage, and I think that's the right way to do it. The disadvantage, of course, means it's even easier to nail the AI, the NPC ships. Right, Frameshift Drive again. We know that the jump range on this ship, oh well, that might have changed now. Let's take a quick look just to make sure. 1794, so it hasn't changed. Just wanted to make sure when I get these numbers right. And currently we are at 2610 optimized mass, which is, this is the main number really. We're going to be losing here. It's a lot more clearer to see now than it was on the old system. But we're going to lose, we're going to go from 0.8 to 0.6 power draw. We're going to go from 50 to 52, and we're going to go from 124 down to 119. So we are going to lose integrity there, but it's only going to happen on the first roll, and we'll never lose those. We'll never be disadvantaged again after that until we go to the next tier. But there is no next tier because 5 is the end. Okay. So let's start beefing this one right up. Nice roll. The further that line goes round the clock, that wasn't a good one. That was average. So I'm pushing to get 2790. and I'm a little way off it, so I just want to keep pushing. Oh, nice, nice, nice. So 2782.3. Let's generate one more and just see how much difference it's going to be. 2783. You see, I'm not really on this ship because it's not an exploration ship. I'm not really willing to waste. Now it only went up one point whatever it was on that one. That doesn't mean it's going to go 1 point on the next one. It's gone up 2 there. Go on, let's give it another one. 85 to 88 now. I suppose I better run it all the way. I'm not losing any. I'm not getting any more negatives. I'm virtually there. I'm 0.9 away. Is it going to complete here? Is it hell? You're really... Go on, one more. Let's complete it. And there it is. We've hit the 2790. We've got the jackpot. Now the experimental mass manager. But before we do that, let's see what the jump range is. 17.94. Don't worry. It's a bug. It's a bug. So we're going to jump out and back and back. And we're going to come out. This is a real nasty little bug that I don't like. And we're going to go to the main menu. It only seems to happen on the jump range. And we're going to go back into my group. And that will update the jump range to whatever the new one is. Okay, so let's have a look over. And there is it, 18.83 now. So it's gone up by almost a light year, almost. But it's going to be a light year very soon, I would say. So back in the engineers, back in the FSD, hit select, hit experimental and mass manager. You can go with strip down, you lose his mass as well, but that's not really where you're interested in. That mass you lost on that red circle, you'll get some of that back here. This gives you more integrity. That might be a good one if you're in a combat ship. You might want to protect your FSD, because if you're in PvP, people are probably going to target your FSD to stop you leaving, to stop you from jumping out and getting away from them. So you might want to beef the integrity up on this. As you can see, it is a massive 25% increase, which is great. So you might want to consider that on a combat ship. I certainly would give this strong consideration. And this is the one I will be putting on this ship because it makes the most sense. I don't need the out and out jump range on this ship, but the mass manager I'm going to put on now because I want to show you how much extra that's going to give. This one uses more fuel per jump, I think. Yep, so every time you jump it uses more fuel. Now I've got a massive fuel tank on this ship, so I can afford to do that. I can jump about 20, I think it's about 20 jumps before I need to fuel scoop. So I can afford to use up more fuel on this. My con on this one is the power draw, but I will also get a larger jump range by using more fuel. That's a nice little upgrade there. Thermal spread gives you better thermal load. Again, if you want to run cooler ships, maybe you want to run stealthy ships in combat, this is going to drop your thermal load, and you're going to be wanting to look at thermal spreads for most of your modules if you're interested in running a ship with a very low thermal signature. Again, it depends on what you want out of your ship. I may decide I want to buy a Cobra Mark III and I want it to be a really cool, cold stealth ship, and I'm going to put these thermals on there to help every module I can, because I'm going to be smuggling and I want to get into stations and I want low heat signatures, and so up to you. Let's put the mass manager on and see what the out and out thing is now. 883. Yeah, I'm going to do another jump because I'm not sure if that's still bugged. It looks like it must be, because that must have changed. I hate that you have to do this, and I hope they fix this in beta 3. This needs fixing in beta 3. because that will give me the confidence to know that it's done. There you go. Wow. That's given me another 0.7 on that mass manager. So I've nearly hit 20 light years in a Corvette that is rigged out for combat. That's pretty decent. Again, my original jump range 17.93 or 94, whichever figure you believe. 17.9 up to 19.5. That is nice. It's not as big an increase as I would have liked, but that's because I always want more. Why wouldn't you? Okay, so Engineer's Workshop. We need to go in and finish off these multi-cannons now because I was getting too carried away. So we'll just whiz through these multi-cannons. I suppose I don't know which one this is. If I look on here now at these multi-cannons, here we go. I got one there. Oh, okay. Is this the only class 3? Right. Let's have a look then. So damage is 27.3, and we're going to damage is 4.1. Right. Oh, just to get down to the back, because there's no mouse pointer there. I have to scroll all the way down, which is a bit nasty. So we're going to convert this one, and we're just going to start generating. I've already used up 40 iron, so I'm definitely going to have to go and get some more iron at some point. See, for these small increments, I'm really not that fussed. That'll do. The circle's nearly closed. I'm happy with that. You'll get an idea of the difference, and then you can work it out what it's going to be like. So I'm going to put a thermal shock on this one. Impart additional heat. Wait a minute. Incendiary. Modified ammo capable of superheat around increasing damage and converting a large portion to thermal. Which is the one that gets through the shields and attacks modules and whatnot? Or am I thinking of something else? Oversize. More damage per second. This is a good thing to put on smaller weapons. I'm going to go with thermal shock. Damage per second is reduced though. Incendiary. Damage per second reduced again by 5%. So you have to take this into account, that these experimental effects are going to change your actual load. So let's take a look before we put an experimental on. So we've gone from 27.3 to 32.1. That means, think of this, right? Hold on. We've gone, and on the damage we've gone from 4.1 to 4.8. That means that this weapon, which is a large, has almost, for the sake of nothing, got the same damage as my huge multi-cannon had. The first multi-cannon was 33, the huge one, and this large one is 32.1, and it had a DPS of 4.9. This has got a sorry, not DPS. It had a damage of 4.9. Now this one has a damage of 4.8. So it's almost up there with the huge weapon now. A modified large is almost as powerful as a Elite 2.4 modified huge. That's a bit scary. And look, my power usage has come down to 95 now. It was on 97 before. So I may be able to go for that armored power plant after all. I may not need that level 1 overcharge. Right, so now thankfully we're back on this screen. We don't have to go back through any menus. I tell you what, let's go oversize. Let's go oversize and see if we've now pushed the large weapon to be more powerful than what the huge weapon was on 2.4. So it has to beat 33 and 4.9. Did it do it? So, yeah, it did. 33.1 and 5. Holy mackerel. That is... that's some... Yeah. So there you go. That's what to expect. So now we've got these. I'm going to be putting oversize on these as well. I just want to have a look. Usage is still 95, even though I did add a little bit on there of power. But now we're going to do these. Now you can see here, these are overcharged, and these two are high capacity because they're very small multi-cannons. So I've got to remember that those are high capacities, which shouldn't be difficult to remember because it'll tell me here. Okay, let's go. I'm really impressed with that. Oops, you know what I didn't take a note of what the original number was on this. Let me do that. I know I messed up there. Let me take a look at this one, which we haven't engineered yet. So this is 17.2 and damage is 2.4. If this can get anywhere near, if these mediums can get anywhere near where the large one was, this is going to be a scary ship. Right, I'm going to take these numbers, the one I've just taken, as the same for both. Oh, look at this. Honestly, my handwriting is just so bad. What was the damage on that? 2.4. Looks like a U. I've written it down so badly. It looks like 2.U. Okay, let's generate again. I'm going to generate both of these, because I'm only interested in comparing well, I'm interested in comparing old and new, but I'm interested also now in comparing different classes, medium to large and whatnot. Right, I've reached my damage target there. I haven't quite reached this, but for the sake of 0.2, I'm not wasting any more materials. So we're going to stick that on, and we're going to go oversize. I want to go oversize because I just want to see, can I get anywhere near? I'm not sure whether this is going to reach it, but so on the huge, let's have a look. Huge, huge, large, medium, and medium. So the large was 27.3 and 4.1. Oh, look, I've got better in the magazine there. So now it's 22.1 where it was 17.2. Damage is 2.9 where it was 2.4. So the damage hasn't increased that much, but the DPS has gone from 17.2 to 22.1. Not quite the large, which was 27.3. So not quite there, but certainly a sizable increase. The increase is not so much on these smaller weapons, it looks like. Okay, so let's just go back. I wish somewhere I had a figure that showed me the overall damage and DPS of the entire ship. That would have been the most interesting. So let's generate through these. This isn't the shortest video in the world, guys, but there we go. That's it, I'm stopping there. I'm so close to the end. It's only going to be the OCD people amongst us that are going to hate to see that little gap. They're going to want to close that gap. I'm not interested. For a 0.01, don't care. I have to control myself not to close that gap because it could cost me 2 or 3 more rolls, which are, you know, for iron, as I said in the beta, fine. But you really don't want to be doing that in the live game. So I've gone up to 77 on the magazine, which was better than before. So that's another plus. So here we've got 22.1 and 2.9, the same as before. So a nice increase from 17.2 and 2.4. I haven't been noting down thermals and distributors, but because it's on video now, I can always review this video and have a look and compare. And so can you. Alright, so multi-cannons. Now we have the two little babies, the high capacity ones. Maybe we can oversize those as well. So I think I need to look at the numbers. Have I been making a mistake here? No, no, I haven't. I was going to say, have I been looking at these figures here after doing the conversion to legacy, from legacy to new? But it doesn't make a difference. The conversion still keeps your previous numbers. Pretty sure. So, well, anyway, let's have a look at these small ones. So on the smalls, the damage per second, 3.9. That's nothing. And the damage is 0.6 on that one. Oh, what a difference between that and the mediums, which were running at 17.2 originally. And this one, the damage is slightly better, 4.3, and the overall damage 0.6. And you'll notice that the magazine sizes are 150 and 148. They're going to equalize at the end of this. So let's start converting, and we'll just do both. So high capacity, as you can see, we do not get into grade 5, so I've got to do a grade 4 roll first. I guess that just depends where your previous one left off. Oh, I've got to go all the way through grade 4 here. Wow, that's a surprise, but in a way good, because it means I'm going to be pushing it even more up. If you were really really wanting as much power as possible, you might want to push these small ones to the limit just to give them as much as you can. Definitely a lot to go on the clocks yet. Okay, they're almost closing. Rate of fire, damage per second hasn't quite closed. Ammo clip size is done, so that's gone orange now instead of blue, so that's done. Oh, I'll try one more time. See, it's closed it a little bit. Damage per second has reached its goal, even though the circle hasn't closed, so I'm happy with that. That's close enough. And the ammo maximum, well, 4,200. What? Okay, well, I'm happy with that. So experimental and oversize. And let's go back. And finally, we'll just do the last one, and then we'll take a look at the figures. So we're going to convert the module. Now that I've converted this module, I'm going to have a look and just see. Our numbers are the same. So we did get it right. Yeah, look at that. 4,100 I've got now rather than a 180. Wow, those numbers have gone up. So this is 152, but that was a different number before, I think. Yeah, so we're going to have more bullets, more in the magazine, and more power in these high capacity ones. That's why I've got more ammo clip size, because it's high capacity. Of course. So, of course, these guns are going to fire for a lot longer than the others, which is kind of pointless because they're so small. But the reason I've gone with high capacity on these is because they're turreted, and so they're going to spend their time firing more than they probably need to. You know, for example, when the ship as when the ship's hull, the enemy's hull is down to 0, you know to stop firing. You don't need to fire anymore. But the turrets keep going until the ship blows up, unless you untarget. So it's wasting ammo. Now, that's the thing to bear in mind, that these are turreted weapons. All the others are gimbaled, but this one is turreted. So the damage per second and the damage is going to be smaller than gimbaled anyway. Okay, done that. Pretty much there. Not concerned about 30 bullets. So experimental. Oversize. Back. Right, let's see. Where did we get to? So this was, wow, look at that, 4193. So we didn't quite go all the way there, did we? So this one was 3.9 and 0.6. And it is now 4.6 and 0.6. So the damage hasn't actually increased. These little turreted weapons. But the damage per second has gone up by 0.7. On here, exactly the same. Just as expected. But that's only gone from 4.3 to 4.6. So all I've gained there is 0.3 damage per second. Plus the magazine capacity and the overall capacity. That's gone up. So not too bad. Power distributor then, charge enhanced on this one. So we're going to convert it to the new system. And let's take a look at the number. I know this is, like I said, I've said it before, it's a long laborious way, but I do want to show you this. So the recharge times then, the recharge megajoules I should say, it's measured in megajoules. Right, so 9.79, 6.53 and 6.53, because we are enhancing the charge. The capacity is, because that's going to be affected negatively, 6912 and 4608. Okay. Power draw 0.96. Integrity 165. I'm not quite sure if that's going to change. Right, let's get this one done. Let's make sure we're there. Charge enhanced and go. You see, this is what's going to suffer the capacity. Yeah, but the charge is going to go up. So this means, you know, the capacity I can afford because I'm running multi-cannons on the weapons, so it's not going to drop down as quick as if I was using lasers. But when I leave go of the trigger, it's going to recharge that much quicker. So as this is a combat ship, it's kind of in my interest to have this as high as I can push it, really. So I'm going to get it almost there. We are almost there. The weapons recharge at the top is not quite there, and I want to shut that one down. I'm going to go one more. I'm going to do it. Right. These two numbers are matching. This is probably 6.957. That's why it hasn't completed. And this, for the sake of that, is forget it. So, experimental. This gives us even more recharge, an extra 4%. So I would buy that just to show you, but I'm going to lose capacity even more. My current values are 65, where before, before it was 69, 46 and 46. So my capacity has dropped more on the new ones. But the recharge was 979 and 653 and 653. So interesting. Look at the integrity on that. Take it up to 190 on your power distributor. That might be a really handy thing to do as well. That'll strip the mass off, and this one, this brings the capacity back up to more than what the old one was. And it's still, oh no, but it drops the red numbers there. The weapons recharge will end up at, will it end up there, or is that what the current values are? 979 to 10.3, so better. 6.8 used to be 6.5. Let's take a look. Right, no, it's not. That's what my numbers are going to be then. So currently, I've got better recharge all round, and weapon capacity is less than before. So that's the weapon capacity is worse off, and the weapon recharge. So the gap, the balance between capacity and recharge has grown. There's a bigger gap between the two. Power draw is the same, integrity is the same, mass, boot time is all the same. So rather than touch those values, probably going to go for integrity on this one, because it doesn't have any downsides. Here I'm gonna lose in one area. Yeah, I'll gain even more on the weapons, which is on the recharges, which is nice, but I'm going to lose even more on the capacity. I'm not willing to do that. Power draw, well, at 95, I'm still okay for that. Strip down for the sake of 10% mass. This one, again, I'm not willing to lose any more, so I'm going to go with double brace. So now we've really pushed the integrity of that up, because it's another module that's probably going to be targeted by your enemies anyway. So there it is, integrity 190. So I think that's probably the most sensible option on that one. Right, hull reinforcements, how many? Only 3. Okay, so heavy duty. Right, I'm not going to go through the minor figures here. I'm only going to be interested in the final armor number at the end. So let's not go through those smaller figures. Let's just jump straight in and start upping our resistance. Because in this case, resistance is certainly not futile. Now if there's a mod, an experimental mod that gives me more of these circles and less mass, I'll take it. Right, all the kinetic, the thermal and explosives have reached their numbers. 17.1. This one is 0.12 off on hull reinforcement. I've only got 2 ions left, so what the hell? I only need 1. I'm only going to use 1, because I need 1 for the experimental. So, thermal, overall hull reinforcement, but losing resistances, kinetic or explosive. Well, I don't really want to, I'd like to increase my hull reinforcement. Let's have a look, thermals. I'm only going to lose 1.6% there. The only time I would choose reflective, angled or layered then is if I would look into my status and see on my armor if I was lacking anywhere, and I am. Armor explosive resistance is lacking compared to the other two. So it would make sense to increase that by putting on the layered plating. It loses me 5% hull reinforcement just to gain 1.6% explosive. Probably not worth it. So I'd rather increase the overall hull reinforcement 10%. So deep plating it is. Okay, so the armor was 2633. The final number is 2691. But that's not the final number. That's only the final number with the with that heavy duty on there. We've got the armor to go and the rest of the hull reinforcements. So don't worry, not the end number. And I think I'm going to be... I could use these next two to do explosive. Oh, we need to get some iron. I could use the next two heavy duties just to add to the explosives to compensate for that hull reinforcement we just got on the deep plate. I give myself extra hull reinforcement. We're going to lose that if I add explosive resistances, but it's going to rebalance, give me some more explosive. Right, I'm gonna shoot off, and I'm gonna get another bin full of iron, and I'll be back. So see you in a second. Alright, as if by magic, we are back, and we're going to carry on with the hull reinforcements, as I've got a bin full of iron. So this is where we got. We de-legacied this hull reinforcement, and now we need to crack it all the way up to the end of grade 5. So let's do it. Whoa, that was a nasty little roll, that was. Okay. So thermals look okay, kinetics look okay, and explosives look okay. Hull reinforcement can be pushed a little bit more. I guess I should be happy with that, really. Yep, let's pin an experimental effect on it again. Further hull reinforcement. I should really be knocking up the explosive resistance at some point. See, this is going to increase by 10%. If I do that on this particular module, and then I do this on the next one, then I'll lose 5% of this. But the explosive resistance gain, plus 18.8%. Let's do it. I just want to see where we are now, because it was a lonely little number down there. So it's gone up to 25%, which is a little bit better. But yeah, I am going to go for deep plating. It keeps the resistances at their level, but it really does up the ante on the armor health. As you can see, I've gained an extra 100. So my explosive resistances are going down, as is the kinetics and the thermals. I'm losing those as I added on the deep plating. Was it? Yeah, I did. I lose resistances there, you see. So maybe on one of them it's worth just popping the explosive back up again, because I'm going to lose another 1% when I do this. But the overall hull reinforcement, but I could really do with my resistances being like all of them in one go. Like if there was a mod that just did all of them, you lose say 10% hull reinforcement, but it ups the thermal, kinetic and explosive all in one go. The opposite of this, pretty much, is what I'm saying. That's kind of missing from here. You can't actually do that. But nevertheless, we have one more to do. I think on this ship it does have a module protection as well, but you can't mod those. I think I've got one. Right, let's go through these. So it is affecting mass, so it is affecting jump range and whatnot as we go through. But at the end, obviously when the ship's done, we'll take a look at the final numbers and see where we are. So hull reinforcement takes longer to complete than the resistances do. Resistances are going to be there now. So 623.69, I don't really think I would want to throw another roll at it. With iron, it doesn't matter, as I said. But when you're looking at niobiums and poloniums and polymer capacitors or conductive ceramics, you might want to consider, even though it's only one, you know, and you have material traders. Let's push it. Yeah, it's for that little micro thing, I don't know. The thing is that this ship is pretty much a shield tank. So, you know, it's hard in PvE. It's very difficult for the ships to get my shields down. But if they do, well, I'm going to up the resistance on this one. So yeah, I just want to see what the number is. I should have done it the other way around, because this is the one I wanted to keep. My armor rating there is 2809, but if I'd put deep plating on, it would have been 2903. That's very nice. And my armor explosive has gone back up to, oh, it's gone down, sorry, to 20%. So if that, does that mean that if I'm hit with a missile or something explosive, only 80% of what damage it can do affects my ship? The other 20 is resisted. Seems to be the case. Yeah. If we're going for absolute out-and-out figure on the armor health here, then 2903 is where I probably want to be. So let's leave it there. But we're not done yet, because we have to do armor now. Now, yes, you will notice that this ship only has lightweight on it. It does not have refractive. That's what keeps my ship agile, and I'm happy with it. For PvP, I wouldn't have it lightweight, but this is a PvP ship, and therefore, now look at this, all the resistances and the whole boost is going up now. I'm probably going to want to push this quite a way, especially as it's only lightweight. So let's just push and push more. Push. Go on, let's close the circles if we can. One more to go. We've closed 3 of the circles. That's it. We are complete. And for the experimental, it's got to be deep. This is in a different order. How strange. Okay, we're going to add another. Look at that boost. Yes, 19.4, 162.4%. Let's bang that one on. Right, final figure then, I think, on the hull is 3029, and it used to be 2633. So we've gone up pretty much 400 on the armor health. The explosive resistances have come down. That's strange, because they were all lighting up in blue. Wow. Okay. But the armor health itself, yeah, I probably should have concentrated a bit more on resistances, really. Still, it is what it is. Like, I could have just gone with blast resistant on one of them all the way up, because that gives us, I mean, look at how much we're going to gain. Yeah, we're going to drop. Look at the drop you get on kinetic there. That's massive. Well, minus 14 it is really, isn't it? It's not, this minus 34 is, I don't know what that is. Is that what I'm going to end up with? Yeah, so it's minus 14, minus 12, and plus 56. So it would have been probably an idea to do a blast resistant on one of my hull reinforcements. I'm not going to do it, but maybe pop this up. Okay, so that takes us 39. So we're going to lose 9 3/4 on these two. We're going to lose hull reinforcement. That's the sacrifice. These are the sacrifices, these 3. And this is what you're going to get in return, your gift. Your sacrifices and your gift. Right, let's move on. Kill warrant scanner. Not bothered. Let's take a look what's available. Fast scanning. Engineer grade too low. Okay. Whatever. Power plant. Right. Now this has got grade overcharge. I'm just going to go with grade 1 armored at the moment. Let's take a look at what we have in the modules. Oh, it's gone right up. Of course it's gone up because we've just dropped down. Okay. If I go armored, it is increasing my power capacity as well. This is the way to go. Yeah, I should have taken the numbers down beforehand then. Oh, double braced. It looks like I haven't already been here. I'm in the wrong bloody thing. Oh, yeah. Okay, so 36 megawatts and 165. 36 megawatts, 165, 0.4. The mass is 80 tons, but I'm just going to write that down. Alright, I just wanted to write the numbers down just so we'd have them. So this one we're going to go all the way through to grade 5 armored. I'm changing it from overcharge because I don't need overcharge. Once I hit overcharge grade 1, I've got enough power back. Don't need it. But this will give me some power capacity back anyway. Yeah, look, 12%. And this will give me 12%. This gives me 12% at grade 1, which was enough for me. Gives you 40 at the end. But at the end, this one gives me 12%, which I already know is enough for me. So if I take this through to grade 5, I'll not only get the power capacity I need, I'll get better heat efficiency and a damn sight better integrity. Look at that, from 165 to 363. And then we armor it on top of that. Yeah, try taking down my power plant, AI. So let's run through these. Yes. It might be an idea when you're doing your power plant. When you're doing your power plant, just temporarily disable your shields. I think Frontier should suppress those messages while you're engineering.
Power plant capacity exceeded. Power plant capacity exceeded.
What are you jabbering on about, woman?
Power plant capacity exceeded.
We've done the weapons and we've done the armor, so I'm not bothered about spending a bit of iron here. We've gone through the main bits that have got multiples, so multiple weapons, multiple hull reinforcements. We've done them all. So the only multiples we've got left now is the shield boosters. We haven't even got to shields yet.
Capacity exceeded. Power plant capacity exceeded. Power plant capacity.
I want to take this a good way. Heat efficiency is done, complete. Integrity is soon to be complete. I want to take this right up to the end. Come on. Wow. See, now you're using up material just to complete one. Okay, so that gives us our power back. There we go, 91 now. So we're 4% better off than what we were. And the integrity now has gone from 165 to 363. Heat efficiency remains the same. Power capacity has gone from 36 megawatts to 40.32, and the mass has gone from 80 to 96. So it's another 16 tons. So that's going to affect jump range, 19.39. I think that's come down about 0.2. but I'm not really that fussed about that. So let's stick the experimental on, and double braced will give us an integrity boost to 417. Oh god. Power capacity 42. We don't need any more. Heat efficiency might be something you want to look at again if you're going stealthy, or you're going for a nice cool ship, maybe on an exploration ship, to allow you to stay really cool while you're field scooping at maximum, maximum flow. Strip down will remove a bit of mass. I'm okay with that, really. It's not going to make too much of a difference. This, however...
Shield offline. Power plant capacity exceeded.
Yeah. However, the power plant capacity is really... This is a big deal now. It doesn't use any power. Look, 0%. Because it is the power. Look at that integrity. Started off at 165. Now it's 417. So any weapons that can get through my shields and target my modules, or if my shields are down in combat and anybody wants to target my power plant, it's 4 times stronger than it was before. Add on your module reinforcement packages as well. Yeah, in a combat ship, that's the only way to go. Sure, you lose a bit of mass, 16 tons, but hey, good compromise. And my power usage is well within. I've got 9% more power I could use, so I'm really good to go on that. This ship's becoming a monster. Right, at the moment we've got lightweight on this. This legacy modification cannot be converted. Engineer grade is too low. And yet this guy does grade 5 everything. I'm not quite sure what this means. Well, we're going to have to skip it. I wanted to just lightweight it a bit more. So, limpets, not even going to bother with that. We've got the shields. Let's have a look at the fuel scoop. Okay, this just basically shields it. Just ups the integrity. It's already 136. This will take it, grade 1 will take it to 217. So that's just like a roll. So why not? Bang. 215. Okay. It doesn't quite get to the end, but you can go to grade 2 already. So I'm just making my fuel scoop stronger. It's taking up more power draw a little bit, so I'm not going to go any further with that. I don't need to. Okay. Let's go shields. So, biweaves. Right up at the top, because they consume a lot of power. Look at the thruster consumption, 25%. So the biweaves are consuming 8% of all my power. And these are the figures. What do we have to look at here? The regen rates. Well, I'm going to leave them on screen. I'm not going to go through them all. It takes too long. So there it is. There's the before numbers. We will convert. And on my shields. Now my ship is a shield tank. So it is in my interest now to push this. So let's push it. Kinetic resistance has dropped. On the shields, not the armor. So these are thermal resistant shields, and the boosters, I think, go the other way. So I'm protected from pretty much everything. I have to complete this mod though. It's what this ship's about. And it's complete. Now, experimental. Whoa. Again, you could go for integrity, but... or fast charge. Again, look at that. You gain thermal and kinetic resistances. Your broken regen rate will be faster. Your regen rate will be faster. And your explosive. So your resistances, I don't know why explosives at the bottom. It's not really in... oh, is it in some kind of value order? No, not really. No reason why they put it in that order. So this helps your regeneration. speed, whether it's broken or not. So that's an interesting one. Multi-weave. You drop some power, but your resistances go up. Percentages are not that great. High cap. Additional capacitors and protection nodes increase maximum shield strength at the cost of decreased power drawn and sys drain. Don't know about that one. Thermo block. Increased resistance to thermal damage, which is what the shield already has. Low draw. Well, it only draws 8%. Still only drawing 8%. So, yeah, kind of okay with that. I'm reading these very quick, so I'm probably missing stuff. Strip down, so that's mass, takes 10% mass off. It doesn't look like it's got any downsides. This one increases the integrity, but do you need that on your shields? Improved module survivability. What, to stop it from breaking? To stop the shields breaking? So, mate, the ones that interest me is this one. I like a lot of blues. So this gets the shields back up very quickly and increases the resistances by a small amount, but your regenerate is a lot quicker. So you can probably, with bi-weaves, you can probably keep full rings. You know, if your outer ring starts going dim and you have a lull in the combat for a few seconds, this will probably get it back up to a 3 again. And they'll be thinking, Jesus, can't get this guy's shields down. That's a better amount of resistance increase than here, but not too much. Optimal strength at the cost of increased power drawn and sys drain. Yeah, I don't fancy that. So fast charge, multi-weave is kind of interesting. And strip down, just to take some mass off it. 10% mass off it. Just to gain a bit of agility, a bit of thing. But as we're going to go for ultimate, I want to increase. Wow. I'd probably increase my resistances with this. But it pulls 25% on the distributor draw. So I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with that one, yeah. Right, so I'm going to show you the after figures on that one. Wow, it looks like a lot more numbers now. It looks like. So there's the after figures, and you can compare those with the before on the video. Take screenshots, whatever. That's what I'm going to be doing. I should have done it while I'm doing this video, but I haven't taken any screenshots at all. But I can watch the video back at my leisure. Okay. Let's see what that's done for shields. So shield health used to be 2093 and it is now 2093. So does that mean, I'm just checking my resistances here. Yeah, the resistances on the shields were 51.6, that's now 52.1. Used to be 59, used to be 61.1, now it's 59.9, that's dropped. And the explosive resistance has dropped by 0.2. So my resistances are down on thermal and explosive, but not on kinetic. I'm surprised that the shield health is still 2093 though. I just want to, just to be sure, I just want to do a mode switch, game mode switch, just to be sure, because we know we had issues with the FSD figure not updating until you mode switched.
Incoming message.
Oh dear. Right, game's crashed. This is what happens the game screen stays the same and it just gets blocked. So I'm going to fix that and I'll be back. Alright, so yeah, this has happened a few times, this crash, where the screen you're looking at stays frozen on screen, but you can still maneuver around your menus. It's as if it's as if it's happening behind this screen, like as if this is a screenshot. It's a horrible bug. It's a game breaker, really. But at least now we're back into a new instance, so let's see if the shields did change, or whether it's just me being silly. So no, the shield health is the same, and the resistances have dropped. I'm thinking with the boosters that's going to go back up, but that shield number 2093 has not moved. Into the engineer's workshop then. Going to come down to shield gen. What did I do here that's not moved that number? And how would I get it to move? This one, I suppose. Optimal strength. But it's only 5%, and it's sacrificing distributor draw on the sys, which is probably not a big issue, but it's 25%, which sounds big, but it's 0.7. It's 3/4 of a megawatt, really. Yeah, maybe high cap. Increase maximum shield strength. See, I wish I could just stay hovered on this and go over here and check out what the new health would be if I updated it. But unfortunately, you don't get to see that. I'm going to cost myself a couple of irons probably, but I'm going to put that on. Ah, right, 2208 now. Resistances, which as we know are futile, used to be 51.6, now it's 51.4. Used to be 61.1, now 59.3. And explosive was 66.9 and it is now 66.2. But my shield health has gone up from 2093 to 2208. And we're going to lose a bit. Yeah, the power usage has gone up to 93 now on that. It's gone up, it's because it's, oops, I'm losing it. Right, that's gone up to 9% now. So it's consuming more power. Which makes sense because it's giving me a lot, it's giving me a lot more shields. All right, so we'll stick with that. So shield boosters then, oh God. Right. We've only got two types, resistance augmented and heavy duty. So I think just for speed, we'll take a look at one of these. This is a before of the heavy duty. All right, and we're going to have a look at a before shot of a resistance augmented, which should be down here somewhere. There we go. Okay, the other ones are going to differ very, very slightly, but okay. Probably would have been better to look at these ones. The top one, I don't know. Okay, so that's those. Right, I'm going to go and do all of these, and then I will be back and we'll take a look at the final figure, which stands at the moment as 2208 and 51.4, 59.3 and 66.2. I'll be back. Here we are on the final leg of our in-depth engineering journey of the Corvette. So I've done all of the heavy duty shield boosters, and what I did was on one of the boosters I added thermal resistance, which my overall shield number took a knock on that. On the next one I did explosive, on the next one I did kinetic. So I've really just let me show you, be easier. Don't know why I went there. So my shield health currently 2462 now, and the resistances are still, well, they are down. I think they're going to remain down. They're going to remain less than what they were, but the overall shield health is going to be greater. And what I've done on the boosters is this one has a thermo block, so it gives you better thermal at the cost of overall shield strength. And then this one is force block, so kinetic at the cost of overall shield strength, and this one is explosive at the cost of overall shield strength. And then this one knocks these back again and gives me overall shield strength. So what I've done, the percentages are going to be slightly different, but I've given myself an increase in thermal, an increase in kinetic, and an increase in explosive, only to drop it again to give me an extra shield boost with this supercapacitor one. So in other words, the resistance I gained I've now lost. So overall I haven't lost anything on the main shields, if you know what I mean, but I've actually managed to increase my shield strength by rebalancing the resistances that I gained on the other module, on the other boosters. Anyway, I'm sure that might make sense to somebody other than myself. So let's finish it off. I've got 99 irons. I wasn't going to get the extra, trade in 2 of something just to get 1 extra iron, because I'm not going to need it. So let's just jump in and finish this off. I'm going to do this all through because there's not many of these to go. So let's just quickly whiz through these. And then we'll take a look at the final shield figure, which I'm hoping is going to break 2,500. And then of course there's the question of testing the ship in combat. I'm going to complete these, and there it is. So again, I did that on one booster, I did that on another one, and I did that on another one, and then I rebalanced it by doing that. So on these resistance augmented, I may go with a power drop or an integrity increase, but that's only on this module, so it's not really a big deal. But all the others have got reds, and I don't really want to lose any more. I could lose my resistances even more for extra shield boost, but I'm just gonna do power draw, just to gain some power draw back for no particular reason, other than I don't want to sacrifice any more resistances. Of course, I could just not put an experimental effect on, you know. You don't have to put an experimental effect on at all. So there is that. Okay, let's generate. I've got enough. I only need to do these now so we can take this all the way to the end, and then I'll refill the iron for when I do the condor. Wow, that got me right to the end there. That was quick. And we're going to drop the power draw on that. It doesn't really make a difference overall. And this is the last shield booster. Now, of course, if you guys think of anything different that I may have It's not that I could have done, because you know, I'm doing this specifically to my own requirements. But if you guys have got any other suggestions, guys and girls, if you've got any other suggestions to what you would think would be a good change, what you would have done differently, drop a comment. I will do my best to respond to them, because I always try and respond to everybody's comments. Let me know. Let me know what you would have done different. Probably different hard points. But yeah, doesn't even have to be on a vet. On any ship you've got, just let me know some of your changes that you've made and why you've gone for certain experimentals, perhaps. Stuff like that. I think we're done. What we didn't do, life support, stuff like that, but I'm not sure. Oh, we can do life support. Okay, so we can go with lightweight for that. It will reduce the integrity, but I've never really been on life support on my ship, so why not waste a couple? Only goes to grade 4 here. What are we going to gain at the end? Down to 2 tons. Okay. Well, it's not going to take many rolls of the dice, this one. Actually, it's probably not correct to use the term roll of the dice anymore, because there's no randomness to it. So they're not really rolls anymore, are they? So the term god roll and roll is kind of a thing of the past. Now, I think I would say so, because you're not rolling a roll is to say, you know, a god roll or a roll is to say a roll of the dice, but there's no randomness here now, so you're not rolling dice anymore. You're just generating. There we go. For the sake of one more. Okay, another one. So we got a lightweight life support. Wow. No experimentals. Go on, let's do it all the way. Man. Look at this meanie. Look at this. Oh. I'm not doing that. Anything else? I don't think we can do this, can we? Yeah, I don't know what that is. I think that might be a bug, because the engineer was supposed to be able to do all of this stuff. Alright, collection limpets. Reinforced would be good on these, because then they're less prone to being hit, so you can collect your cargo. But look at that, you go from 90 integrity to 144 just on grade 1. So hey, there you go. What do I get for 2? 198. Okay, I think I can do that in one roll. Almost. Let's do one more. I know I had grade 3 there, but I'm quite happy there. That's all right. We're done. Let's take a look at the final shield figure then, which used to be 2093 when I started, and it is now 2452. And my kinetic resistance is the only one that's gone up. Oh no, not anymore. Right, so previous numbers then. Shield health 2093 is now 2452. Kinetic resistance previous 51.6, now 54.2. So that's not bad. Thermal resistance previous 61.1, now 61.9. This is what you get with the resistance augmented boosters. That's what this does. This has beefed all of these up now. Explosive used to be 66.9, it's now 68.2. So just having those E-rated resistance augmented, because you don't need A-rated resistance augmented, it's not going to make the figures any different, I don't believe. That's bumped those resistances at the end right up. And my I didn't reach 2,500 on the shields, but I'm almost there. My armor's over 3,000 now. My weapons are super damaging, and my power usage is 4% less than it was before. And I've got more bullets in my multi-cannons. Overall then, a very profitable evening. That ends this video. I will make a separate video to show this ship in combat, but before I do that, I want to do another in-depth re-engineering video, but this time on my exploration Conda. So join me for that one, and I will see you then. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to say it this time, if you like the video or you think you've learned something or I've helped you out, please like, subscribe, and help my channel. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.